Dun, 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 dun. Back again. This is A Waste of Popcorn. And the movie I just finished watching, Me, Earl, and a Dying Girl. It was great. It was a good movie. It reminds me of my childhood. Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink. Yeah, I know. With the spin on these perfect thing type movies, Eric Stoltz. You know, John Cusack was the king of that era in coming of age movies. I hate that word, but it is what it is. I mean, Fast Times at Richmond High, wasn't too many black films about coming of age when I was growing up in the 80s. Keep in mind, I was 10 years old in 1980, so I was 20 years old at the end of the decade. And moving into my early 20s, we had films like Juice, New Jack City. They weren't coming of age movies, but they were black films, but they weren't dealing with teenage, puberty marks. It was a whole bunch of this what goes on in the hood. Not every hood. I'm lower middle class. I grew up in a what they call a golden ghetto. It was the ghetto, but it was the golden ghetto. It was suburbites, our suburbites. We were still with hookers and pimps and gang violence and drug deals, but we still was grounded in the family ties type situation. Both parents in the house, and income, two or three cars. Next door neighbor who wears fur coats to the grocery store. So I can relate to this type of movie. Uh, what takes place is 18-year-old pasty faced kid with his token black homeboy that he grew up with, and a neighborly girl in the neighborhood who just happens to have cancer. It was like watching a sure thing or casual sex movie or some Kevin Bacon film with a heartstring twist to it. Now I've lost a lot of family members and friends to cancer, so um, and I was present during their last months, weeks, and days. It was rough. The chemotherapy, the surgeries, it's pretty rough. And just to has we had some comedic hijinks, during the period of which the health was failing and deteriorating, and that kind of eased the transition. But make no mistake, dying is scary as shit, and dying alone is scary as hell. And this the reason. Right now, I'm going to explain to you the reasons why I'm here in my niece's basement, because I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes almost at the end of life in August of 2017. And I had got out of work and I couldn't breathe. I lost consciousness. I couldn't hold my urine. Ended up in the hospital with 300 blood pressure and 800 sugar count in my blood. And I was on my way out. And my organs were shutting down. My kidneys were at 20%. And the most hurtful thing was the people I called. I called my brother, I called my sister, I called a lot of family and friends, and only a few family members answered the call. But the thing was, even the guy that I was living with, we grew up together across the street. He was my Earl. He didn't come see me in the hospital. He didn't call. He didn't text. He didn't Facebook. He didn't even offer a ride home after I got out the hospital. And I was like, I'm leaving. I'm going home. If I'm going to die.